Best dressed at Halloween.
Why are you
We can have
telling
that.
all my
Sad-
secrets?
Sad if you can have that picture.
Yeah, just have the
No.
outfit up.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Something to Say podcast. Today's conversation, today's guest and co-host, they've got some news, and I'll be the one who shares that news with everybody. So we've got two new lead associates here at Savvital. Congratulations, Musab Shabazz, Alina Saleem Mirza.
Thank you.
This has been a long time coming. You guys, they've been honestly putting in so much work, so much effort into everything that they've done, and it's started to pay off. Savvital does that a lot. They do it very frequently. They do appreciate all the talent that they have. But this episode, we're going to be focusing on
Me.
Alina Saleem
On me.
Mirza. No. We're going to be focusing on Alina.
I'm
Saleem
honored.
Mirza. And it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so
Welcome.
much. Thank you.
Musab?
Yes, sir.
How does it feel?
First and foremost, Asan, thank you so much for the recognition. It's been a long time coming, and just so glad to be in this batch of new people who've been promoted to this newly formed position in our much needed restructuring of the company. I feel like it does recognize a lot of the people we've had putting in long hours of work and who hadn't been appreciated for some time now, and I feel like they have a position now where those efforts can be reflected with their title. So it's a great thing, and honestly, being promoted on the same day as Alina to that position is an honor for me because she's been here much longer than all of us, and she's quite a seasoned player, as you will see in today's podcast, because she has quite the bunch under her belt, because not just the client, not just Savvital internally, she's a seasoned player. So welcome to the podcast, Alina. Thank you so much for joining us on such
I'm
short
glad
notice.
to be here.
I know it wasn't scheduled for today, but you were here, you were dressed well, we were like, why not, right?
I chose the correct day to
Oh
dress
yeah,
up.
100%, what a day. So Alina, as we always do, I want to get into the background, first and foremost, of who Alina Saleem Mirza is, what she's done, where she came from, and how she ended up here, and then let's move along. So why don't you give us a brief intro?
Firstly, thank you so much, guys, and I'm equally very honored to be promoted the same day as you. And no, I am really happy for you. And as you know, my name is Alina Saleem, and I just got promoted to lead associate, and which is an amazing thing. And I did my bachelor's in economics. I was a Zumba instructor before that. And then after my graduation, there was some time in between my degree and after that where I had some spare time. So I thought might as well just start doing something freelance, and I started writing, and I did have some sort of liking towards it. So I started writing, and then after that I found my way to Savvital. And this was my first corporate job.
How did you find out about Savvital?
So I just circulated my CV, and then Malia Aslam, assistant manager, client services, she referred me to Savvital, and I was genuinely not hoping for any interview call, but I got one, and I was really happy. And then I got into Savvital, and the first day I just did not know what to do, but here I am today. So I think that's just about me.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want to get into one part of that intro. You said Zumba instructor. That
Yeah.
sounds interesting to me. That's a first.
What exactly is Zumba?
So Zumba is a kind of a form of dance. It's somewhat similar to aerobics, but like a fitness dance. And ever since I was like 5-6 years old, I have been into dance. Like, I love dancing. That was my go-to thing. If I'm sad, if I'm happy, everything was related to dance. And if you come across my family, everybody in my family is just obsessed with dancing, be it weddings or just a normal day at home. So I just found my way. Like, I just got an opportunity where they wanted a Zumba instructor, and I was teaching Zumba from kindergarten kids to grade second. and it would be a 1 hour class, and I
And
would.
was that self-learned, like the teaching part of it?
Yes, it was self-learned because I was already very flexible, and I would love dancing, so it was very easy for me to,
And so the art of Zumba, you
Yeah.
taught that yourself from YouTube or whatever
Yes.
other resource. That's brilliant. That's
And I was totally into it, and they actually loved, doing all of that, dancing on that, and it just made their day so much better with
That's
all
a
of that
very sought-out
schoolwork.
activity
Yeah.
for
Also,
women in the Twin
kids have
Cities.
kids have a very contagious sort of energy as
Yes,
well. So it
and
just
I
feels
love
good.
kids.
It's good vibes.
So it was the perfect match, Zumba and kids.
And you.
So I thought, yes. So I thought, yes, of course, I would definitely go for it. And I'm glad I did that because that was the time where before my degree, I took a gap year. And I was just feeling so unproductive. And I was like, oh, I need to do something. I need to do something.
So Alina, why didn't you do a degree in like dance or something like that? Like some sort of art. Why economics?
I think it's more of a passion. It's something I love, and I don't see my career in it. I see my career where I genuinely, hypothetically speaking, everybody has a dream. So I see myself somewhere, giving TED Talks about life and about career opportunities, and that was my goal since day one. So this was just like a start to my career, and just to give me a place to, just see how I go with it. Yeah.
And before you signified that, okay, my career alignment, my career dreams, or something else, I was going to speak about the lack of opportunity in these fields. Obviously, that does not apply to your case, but do you think that's a factor too when women, even men who are in art forms like Zumba or aerobics or even
Of course,
even something as simple as painting these days in this country, right?
Yeah.
So the lack of opportunity does drive you to find something that's more of a safety net, right?
Yes,
Like
of
established careers.
Not just that, I believe. I think with the religion aspect of it, and with the,
especially in our country.
our culture aspect of it, like, when it comes,
These things
when
are a bit taboo. Yeah.
yes, even if I went up to my dad and I went like, I want to be a choreographer, and he would be like, are you sure you want to, do this? And, again, they think about, it has no money, and what are you going to do about it, and what will we tell our relatives about it? But, then again, I feel like for women, it's quite hard. But, Savvital is a place where, women have the opportunity to work on these hours, the US hours. And I think, yes, it does play a huge role where the opportunities are very less. There are no dance academies or anything of that sort. And even if you want to pursue that career in future, you really don't have that much, you can say, help or, a push where you think, okay, yes, this is what I want.
Makes sense. So, Alina, I think Alina's podcast is going to be one special one because I feel like her clientele activities, they stretch out far more than most of our clients because it is one of the biggest clients we have at Savvital, right?
We say
And
that
we've had them a while. I know we
Yes.
say that a
we
lot,
say that
but
every episode,
but that's
this-
why we're
that's actually
featuring them.
true.
That's why we're
Exactly.
featuring all these people in the front of the row. And
Yes.
you've been with them for a while now.
Yes, it's been, I think it'll be 2 years in January now, 2024.
When
Yes.
have you heard 2 years with the client last? I don't know. Have you heard that?
Well, I think
2 years
she-
with the client. I think Malia.
Yes, Malia.
Very few
I
people.
think that
know.
there's only you can count them on one hand.
Yeah.
So
People
that's
have-
why there's so much emphasis on when I say 2 years with the client because that's something retaining a client for that long, making yourself basically they depend on you now.
Yeah.
If you're with the client for that long, it's not a point ke client chala jayega, they're gonna leave you for some reason. It's not efficiency puri nahi ho rahi, they're not getting the effectiveness out of you. At that point, you are a pivotal player for that team,
course,
which Alina
yeah.
has definitely done here.
Alina, do you feel like you have become an integral part of the team of your client? And if so, when did you realize that you were a part, like you were like the integral part of their team?
I think when I joined them back in 2022, January, I still remember the date. It was 10th January when I onboarded with them. And at that point, I kid you not, let's be honest, I had no clue. What am I going to do? How it's going to work? Because like you guys discussed, it's one of the biggest clients Savvital has. And nobody had prior experience of what exactly an insurance association does.
It's so
Yes.
uncertain when you start out with a client in Savvital, especially as a fresh grad.
Exactly.
You don't know.
And I had no help of training or anything. Like obviously my colleagues were there, my managers were there to, give me a direction on how to do that. But I think my approach to it was I was very laid back and I just wanted to get a hang of things and get to know, how they work, their procedures, their work ethic. And I've always been that person, my work ethic. I'm not trying to, praise myself.
But it's true.
But my work ethic, I like working and not giving my time to other things. If I know I need to get something done, I will get it done. And I think 7 to 8 months, I would train for 8 hours a day. And I would not have any time to, do anything else. But then again, that was another experience, I was like, okay, I'm enjoying this.
I've seen those days with Alina. Because
Yes.
what's the smallest meeting room we have, guys? What's it called?
Fetch and
Co.
Co,
That,
yeah.
I remember when we came up to this office, I remember that was Alina's room.
And I even asked them to change its name.
Yeah.
Make it Alina. Yeah.
Because she was there for consecutively 6, 7, 8 hours.
Yes.
For webinars.
How long ago did you join before I did?
I think I was May 2022, and I think you were
In August,
right?
the last few days.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
I joined Savvital, literally the first thing that I saw, the first person that I knew in this office was you, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, where does she sit? And I asked her, is this your office? And she's like, no, I just work here. But what are you doing here all the time? And then she told me, all right, this is what I have to do.
We'll get into all of that, why she was putting in those long hours, because as she says, hard work, I can testament to that. You can, because we've seen that in true form. So she's not flexing at all, even though she should be. So before we move on to the tasks you're doing, the responsibilities you have, one thing I feel like I am sure Asan would agree to is something we should get into for our associates right now. It's very important for our associates and up and coming associates is if there's anyone to go to learn how to retain a client, because that is a problem for most newcomers. And I feel like that's a very pivotal issue in our industry. Why do people fail here? Pehla client hai, gone. Second client, not able to retain. Third, right? Yeah. So I feel like those tips coming from someone like Alina, that could make a very nice segment. So I'd like to do that, Asan.
How have you built their trust?
Just adding on to your last question and this, it kinds of, just thoughts coming up in my mind. But, I feel like the best thing I did was that I was laid back. I did, everything to make sure they have that trust. Because we're 7,000 miles away. They don't know what we do. We're sitting here. We're just talking through, technology. And let's face it, technology is not our friends always. So, when you're sitting 7,000 miles away, they don't know you, how you work, your culture, your work ethic, nothing at all. All they can, see is your work and how you do it. So I gave them the best thing even before they asked me for it. So I was proactive. I was consistent with my work. I, created a lot more things in their organization. I improved it. Yes,
yeah, so
I
we talk
improved.
about this a lot. How when you have less work, when the client can't figure out what you should get to do for them, right?
Yeah.
You have to take up that responsibility. And unless you don't create work for yourself and show your client how that is efficient, how that's working for them, I feel like people who've been here a while with one client know this, that you have to create a dependability. And I feel like that's something I've tried to do, and that's something you've done, I think, very effectively. In that gap, you just fill that gap up, right?
Yes, now I think I'm at a point where whenever they have to take a decision, they always take it my opinion. And that really makes me feel good about my work. Because, even if I say, okay, this is something I don't like and I don't, think that's going to be efficient, even if it's as small as a process, changing the process, they would actually take in my opinion. And that this was one thing I told one of my associates too when I was a senior associate. Just want to put it out there. Like an hour ago.
Literally 4 hours ago. Come on,
man.
Stop flexing on all of us.
I have to, man. It's my day today.
You should. You have every right.
So I told him that, once you gain that trust with your client, once you have made that position, you have made that credibility where they will take in your opinion, where they will actually, take in your opinion and actually implement it into their organization. And that's when you create value for your client. And that's when you tell them that, look, I get it, like I'm so far away, but my work speaks for itself. So that's what I did, because, and now, I feel like whenever they're talking to me and it's like, they're my family, like it's so easy. And I always, let them know about my life and how it works. It's not just always about work, about my life too. Yeah. And it's fun.
How you bridge that gap. So you spoke about work, but I feel like having that personal relationship with our client too is important, because with my client, Josh, Wisconsin. But I feel like I have a very personal relationship with him too, because we speak about how's my day going, what I did today, what I got up to today. He's always making jabs at me about cars, about women, about everything. Stuff you should do to a guys in their 20s, the proper poising, right? So I have that relationship with my client. So how do you bridge that gap with your client?
I think it was like so easy, especially because they have been quite friendly. And Dan Riley, my
Big Eye, Minnesota. I don't think we've name dropped yet.
Not yet.
Big Eye, Minnesota.
That's Alina's job.
Yes.
yes, but Dan Riley, my ex-boss, he's the most funniest person ever. And I would have such nice conversations with him. The first meeting I had with him, it was so candid and it was so nice. They made me feel quite comfortable with their environment, and we're a team of 7 people. And I have developed a personal relationship with each one of them. That I would always, in the morning I would leave them a message. How are you? How's everything? If they have something going on, I would check up on them. Like, is everything okay? I can cover up for you, because life over there is quite fast paced, especially in insurance sector. So, for me, it was very easy, especially my director, Amy Rao. I have really close bond with her. We are always talking, always on, messaging each other. Even on days off, we have that personal and social connection as well. So I think it was, just by my, I like adding humor into everything I do. So I did that with them, and they actually laugh at my jokes, which I don't find funny, but they find funny. But, they are quite interested into my culture and how we live and how we do things. So I think,
Back in, you said January 2022.
Yeah.
Right? So back then, what tasks were you given initially, and what tasks do you do these days? So tell me about the journey, about all the things that you're covering.
The workflow.
Oh, that's a long list.
Oh,
It's been 2 years.
We've got a long time. Let's go.
Yes, but I think when I joined, so initially I was obviously I hired as their education and member service professional. I'm still that.
Before you move on, Lina, so I've seen a lot of your LinkedIn posts and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk about education and these webinars.
Yes.
So when you say education specialist,
Yes.
what is that?
So-
and an insurance agency, that's what I'm curious about.
Yeah, that's a very good question.
Yeah,
And
because that is
I'll-
very alien to me.
yeah, a lot of people ask me this. What is education?
Yeah.
But basically, in insurance world in US, they need to have license, as I'm sure you guys know, in order to sell insurance. And then we have different programs as well, designation programs, which is like, CIC, CISR, CRM, and a lot more, So every insurance agent can achieve that, and they have those designations next to their name. And for that, they have to have education, continuing ed. Like we used to have in university, we would have that course, a 16-hour course. We would give the exam, and we would have
And
that
that's
credit
where
for
the
it.
webinars coming to.
Yes. So
Makes
we
sense
offer
nowadays.
online courses as well as classroom courses. So so the webinar I administer, and the reason why I'm in that room most of the time
sense.
is because I administer those
So
webinars.
you're basically running a mini insurance university per se.
Yeah, you can say that.
That makes a lot of sense.
Like-
Now I can put a face to that whole education specialist
Yes.
designation, because I've seen that a lot on LinkedIn, and I
Yes.
was curious to ask you that. That's
Yes.
very nice.
So basically, with that, like I said, the second part of it, education and member service professional. So I help those insurance agents or anybody across US needs help with what kind of course I need, how many credits do I need to update my license, how many courses do I need to take to update my designation, and the whole process of updating their CE, updating their license requirements, helping them with giving them options of what courses they can take on any kind of thing they require as an insurance agent. We also provide insurance products like errors and omissions, cyber liability programs, and we basically advocate and help insurance agents to help them grow their business. So insurance association, every state has an insurance association, and I'm glad to be working for Big Eye, Minnesota. So, for them, we do cater insurance agents all over US, but our main focus is Minnesota. So we provide credits for that, we provide courses for that, webinars, classrooms, small courses, and there are few courses that are like 1 hour long, 4 hour long, and sometimes even 16-hour long, and I administer those for 2 days. And
No wonder.
even the reporting after that and before that,
16-hour long webinars.
yeah, 16 hours.
So how do you do that?
That's
you
the
split
goal.
it into 2 days?
Yes.
Is that like a
Okay.
go or
No. Split into 2 days.
2 days.
8 hours?
Yes, 8 hours each. So that's like my whole shift.
Yeah, 2 whole shifts.
2 whole shifts.
Remember we were talking about how there's so many niches in the insurance world,
Yes.
and we found this out in Memuna's podcast. We spoke about the assessment
Yes.
aspect of it. Today we just discovered something new. I'm learning.
Yeah.
I'm learning so much right now that we have people working in assessments and adjusters, and now there's a whole education. I don't know what we'll find out next month.
So, all right, that's amazing. And so you started doing all of that with as time progressed. You got more and more responsibility for the
Yes.
client.
I actually, asked them, like I said, I was very proactive and I wanted to do more and learn more. So, I told them that, I have done marketing as well to some extent.
Yeah.
So, I started making schedules for them, started posting them. And like when I initially started with them, we had not much social media presence. So I helped them build that. And quite luckily, there were a lot of agencies who complimented them back in US that, you guys are doing great job, and they actually love our posts and how. So I started, engaging all the members, because we have members and they expect something out of us. And mostly, people over there might not be able to, read the emails we send out, the newsletters,
Yeah.
and if it's not in hard form.
Yeah.
So, I tried, conveying that how social media can bring, so much attraction and, just build a more stronger relationship with our members. So I started, working on that, and then we even switched to a new database, and then I think Keith Knapp, my director of communications, him and I think we're the two most people who know about that database, and I am quite happy that, they trust me with it, and I, learned how to work that. It was totally new for me, but I helped them, just make all of their processes into Word documents, and I still have them on our shared drive. And if, God forbid something happens to me or I die, but
Come on, man.
just saying.
Always gotta have a backup, man.
So they have procedures.
If I what?
She dies, man. You die.
Yeah, man. Anything can
All right,
happen.
next question, please. Next question,
the
please.
podcast has gone dark, guys.
But jokes apart, but in case something happens, we need to have those procedures on hand, it can't be
Need to
paper
have
written,
SOPs
handwritten.
in place.
Yes. So I created those for them, and now they actually use those. So I'm actually happy that okay, that it's of some use, and I continuously update them with our new procedures. I improve their processes. I make sure that I'm as efficient as possible with all of the things I do, because like I told you, like the whole education thing entails not just the taking care of the things prior to the course or after the course, but overall it has so many different aspects that I need to make sure come together.
Yep.
So for that, I feel like yes, like it has been quite a long journey, to be honest.
Yep.
But now I think I can safe to say that I can totally handle the education
You've
department.
become a bit of an
Yes.
all-rounder
Yes.
in your
So now
case.
my director even tells me that, you can take the education part and I'll take the member part. I said, yes, happy to do so. Because, I know most of the things and I like doing it. And the best part about was it that, our members have started recognizing me. They have started, talking directly, emailing me, calling me,
Yeah, I've
asking
seen
me
that.
questions, and just giving reviews.
I've seen that because
Yeah.
they were posting from their LinkedIn, from the
Yes.
company's LinkedIn, and I opened it up after one post, and it's just after every few posts, Alina, and I'm like, does she own the company? Like, she's everywhere, more than the people who are on site.
who actually do
So
own the company.
that was such a proud moment for us, and honestly, I feel like what she's done is, I don't think I've said this about anyone. I wouldn't say this about me. I wouldn't say this about all a lot of our seasoned players. She's become, from what she's telling us today, she's become indispensable to her client.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the mark we should all be striving to reach, right? Because if you've been with someone so long, there's a reason, and I feel like she's perfectly describing such a hands-on approach, and she's so confident when she, like, kudos to you, she's so confident when she's talking about all of this.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I know Aleem bhai, I don't know Alina Mirza, right? I don't know her
you
professional
did
side.
not have to say that, okay?
I don't know the professional side. I know my friend, but I'm so proud right now how she
Yeah.
has this hands-on approach to everything in this new industry that I know nothing about, and in the past 15 minutes I've learned so much.
That is
Yeah.
actually a very
I've-
good compliment.
I've learned so much.
Honestly, I
I've
can
learned so
feel
much.
the bromance
Aleem
going
bhai.
everywhere. This is
No, but
amazing.
honestly, I've learned so much right now because I did not know anything about
Also,
this sector.
one more thing. She's not. I wouldn't say she's only indispensable to a client. I think so. She's become indispensable in Savvital.
Oh, you know it.
And
You
now
know
we
it.
need to-
Lead associate, let's go.
and now we need to basically pivot to this side
Yeah.
of what you do here at
Yeah,
Savvital.
Savvital. Yes.
Internally, what are all the things that you're taking care of? Because I know there's a lot of stuff that you do.
When I joined, obviously I was hired as associate in client services. My focus was on my client, and they gave me a free hand of just focusing, because that client is our first
Yep.
priority, no matter what. And then, my first eval, and I got promoted to senior associate, and I was really, really happy to take up on that challenge. And then they gave me, associates like,
Reportees.
yeah, our reportees. Then I helped them, with my experience of what I learned, and I tried, giving them tips and tricks on how to, make sure your client, is happy with you and happy with
Building
your
a
work.
relationship with
Yes,
your client.
correct. So after that, I had the chance to work with the awards committee, and I do have some event
When
management.
were you in the awards committee?
I think I was
second last, right?
yeah.
That's why I didn't win. It's okay.
No, but
Yeah.
I didn't win either. You know that awards committee
When you
people
don't
cannot
you
win
end up-
anything.
Yeah, you end up in the awards committee if you
Yeah.
just keep on losing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I joined Savvital, I received my first award, and it was performance excellence.
Yeah.
And within 4 months, and I was really happy about that. But coming to my senior associate journey, then working with the awards committee, and then I worked on a project called Archives, which
Yeah.
was standardization of processes within the company, and I happily chose sales.
Sairam Palekar plug.
Yes.
We both worked on that.
Mr. Palekar,
Yes.
yes. So, with his help and everything, even though I had a lot on my plate because of my client, I just managed to, work on that. Again, I was very focused, and I really wanted to, work on something bigger and, do something for Savvital. Then I worked on that, and then I even worked as the CSR committee head.
Yeah.
So,
That was a newly formed committee.
Yeah.
Yes,
that
was
was
in
the first quarter when you
yes,
were in that committee.
I was
right?
the first one to head that committee, and it was actually a great experience.
Oh, yeah.
Making sure, because I feel making your company's brand image and making sure it's ethically and
Especially
socially
CR as well.
responsible. It was much needed for us,
100%.
and I think I carried out different activities, and to make sure that we are recognized for our efforts and everything. And then alongside, I keep, make sure that I put in some humor here and there to
Keep
make
us entertained.
yes, to make sure
Best
everybody
dressed at
is.
Halloween. Best dressed at Halloween.
Why are you
We should have
telling
that.
all my
Sad-
secrets?
Sad if you can have that picture.
Yeah, just have the
No,
audio
I can't
during the
imagine.
podcast.
Actually, my client Keith, don't kill me for this, but Keith's like, oh, are you dressed up as Albert Einstein?
That's what someone who didn't know would think. Just
Yes,
by the way.
exactly.
It could pass up as Einstein if they didn't know that character
Yeah.
from the drama.
But it's my favorite character, and I can talk like that, but I won't today. But so I make sure that I help my colleagues, and I help whoever asks me for anything, be it anybody, Mo, Amir, Zair, Shahrukh, anybody. If they want something from me, I'd be there, present always. So that has been my I think that's what they always praise me about, that you're always there, you're always ready to take up on any challenge, because I like testing my own abilities, that how far I can go. So with Savvital, I think it has been a great journey, and how they have appreciated me, continuously motivated me. Special thanks to Amir for dealing with my chaos and my everything. But yes, it has been I've had the chance to contribute to different things, some way or the other.
I think this is something that Savvital likes to promote as well, helping and giving back to the community, because obviously this is something that we've done over here, and we've also tried to do this back in the US as well.
Yeah.
This is something like just having these events and having everyone in the office be so excited to take part and
Yeah.
help. It's been a very good initiative, and you've led the team very well. So kudos to you for that.
Thank you.
Musab,
Honestly, guys, it's been fun. We've covered everything, but what I do want to say, I don't want to praise her too much because she's gonna have too much fun with this later on when it's over. But honestly, the ending note for this podcast is obviously thank you, Alina, so much for your time, for giving us time. on
Thank
such a
you
happy
to
day.
you guys for having me.
We're honored. We're honored, and I personally learned so much. But something I do want to say as an ending plug is that, guys, by no joke, I do mean this. If you guys are new to Savvital, if you guys are new in the client relationship business, people like Alina, especially Alina, is someone you should go to learn how to be dependable, learn how to be proactive, because we all say the word proactive, but what does it truly mean? Come to her, have a conversation with her, you'll learn a lot. And for our clients, I hope our clients, prospective clients, do watch this podcast, because I feel like the way she's educated us, it's hasn't been done so comprehensively. So thank you so much, Lena, for putting so much value into our
Thank you
product
so
today.
much to you for giving me so many praises. To Aleem Bhai.
if you need a superstar like Alina, you know where to go.
Thanks,
That's
you
it.
guys.
Book
It means
that
a
free
lot.
consultation call. साथ वो URL ऊपर लगा देना. Okay, guys, thank you so much.
That is us.
All right.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Good podcast, guys. Best one so far.
सही बात है.
Bro, जब तक
असल में guys.
honestly, मैं मजाक नहीं कर रहा.
फर्स्ट
हाँ?
वाली और ये वाली.
क्योंकि हम दोनों भी खुद बहुत अच्छे हेडस्पेस में ना भी, और आपने बहुत अच्छा कैरी किया. आपने बहुत अच्छा कैरी किया माशाल्लाह.
मैं तो बोल नहीं जा रही थी, मुझे लगा था I talk a lot. I
You
feel
talked
like.
a lot, but